absolutely incredible from India. They hold their nerves and are the champions of the Asia Cup. 20 for 3. There were gasps all across India. A billion homes were holding their breaths tight. But then there was Sanju Samson and Tilak Varma who came and controlled our hearts. India are champions. India are the Asia Cup champions. Ooh, DK, I need to breathe in and out and control that heart rate because I don't know the last time I felt this nervous. Over to you. What an incredible finish from India.
This is what separates boys from men. There was so much riding on this Asia Cup. And it is not cricket. It is not. It was one that was filled with a lot of things. But the fact is that India stood up when it mattered most. And for the second time in 2 days, they've shown why they are so highly rated. It was a day when it wasn't about skills. It was about emotions. They knew there was so much happening behind. They needed to shut out the noise and they needed to shut out the opponent as well. And that India has done phenomenally well. It wasn't the usual Abhishek Sharma show. It wasn't Jasprit Bumrah show. It was a day which belonged to a youngster from Hyderabad, showing why he is rated so highly. He was able to hold pressure. He believed in his skills and he knew what it took because he's been there. Not only for Team India, but for many a time in a tournament called the IPL, which is the most highly rated tournament in the domestic format of things across time now. For at least close to 2 decades, 18 years if I'm being precise. But the point is, in a game like this, when the pressure is on, you need to deliver. You can do a lot of theatrics outside of it, and there's been plenty that's happening. But when it mattered most, when you wanted boys to show what it takes to be men, I think Team India showed that under pressure, when a normal carbon becomes a diamond, and that's the kind of pressure India were in. They came into this tournament knowing that they were defending champions, knowing everything was asked of them to win this tournament. They had everything to lose. And a lot of other teams came in hoping they could win. India came in knowing that they had to win. And with that pressure to deliver, that is superb. That is outstanding. That is what some hard-nosed practice and some tough tournaments like IPL and the domestic circuit of ours and the pool of talent that India have, and for you to be part of that 15 and 11, if you want to play for India, you need to be special. And these boys have shown what it takes to be special on a big day.
Well, the boys have become men, like DK has said. He was so calm, he was so poetic when he spoke, and I just feel that he calmed my nerves down, but he's also made me so emotional after his little summary of the way India went about things. Karthik, like DK said, there was so much that was spoken outside the field. It wasn't just the cricket, and we could see the emotion from both the sides. We could see how important it was for both the sides. And it was India holding their nerves 8-0 to Pakistan now.
I think it's more about this game. You can look at all the stats. Stats are all numbers once the event has happened. But when you come back to this game and the fact that we were playing a final, that was the most important thing. Anybody could turn up, anybody could have a great day. And we felt that. Even with India, you felt a little bit of nerves early on. Early doors in that power play, you could see those nerves from our own batters. But what actually stands out in this side is there are lots of players who are actually cooked well. They're not undercooked. They're not greenhorns. So they've been there, they've seen this, and more importantly, they've been empowered. You can see a very calm dugout. For me, what stood out was when I looked at the dugout, the likes of Abhishek Sharma, the likes of Suryakumar Yadav, more so. I can understand the coaching staff is always going to be nervous and tense. You could see a few faces here and there, but the players had that belief. And that is exactly what you want. You know that you can count on somebody even though I have made a mistake, even though I have not been the one to deliver 3 batters out, but you see Sanju Samson coming and playing a nice little hand. Yes, Tilak Varma is the one who needs to be given all the credit, all the plaudits for finishing. But you have small people doing it at crucial junctures, and that is what actually stands out about a good and a very good side. At the beginning of the show, DK mentioned why we are the ones with a big mark behind our back. And I'm talking about India as a team. And once again, it showed, yes, the others were there to play. Yes, it was nervy. Yes, it was a game worth the final. It was not a one-sided match.
Absolutely.
That is not what we want. But India were pushed.
Yes.
But what stood out again is that deep belief amongst one another. And that is what you want to see. When you create a side, you want a side which has belief amongst themselves. Win or lose, anything can happen. You can have a bad day, good day. But that belief within a group about one another, I think that is what that huddle means for me. An arm around each other. I've got your back at all times. And that is exactly what stood out. And well done, India.
And it makes a great point actually. If you looked at the dugout during the game as well, you look at the likes of Tendulkar, Gautam Gambhir, Sitanshu Kotak, and all of the young boys sitting outside, you never for a moment doubted what was going to happen. They had to go through some tough moments, to be honest. Look, I think India really pushed, which is how finals are meant to be. Two of the best teams playing. But, I'm sure he's represented Railways, and from nowhere they went on to win a Ranji Trophy. And it is one thing winning a tournament that way when you're coming from back. And it's a different one when you're winning a tournament where you're expected to win. Two different kind of feelings, I'm sure.
Yes.
And being part of, many a team, he would know that he's been on both sides. One where you're playing with a lot of freedom because if you win, it's great. But if you're not able to, people might not question you. And I'm sure he's been part of teams as well where you are expected to win, walking into that tournament. That is a different mindset altogether, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, again, coming back to what you said, we had a team in between. This was the time when MSD came in, and I'm going back to this because of that belief which we had. Even if those times, 8.5, 9 runs an over required rate was a big asking rate.
Yes.
Nowadays, people just walk all over it. But that point of time, 8, 9 was a big deal. And when MSD and Yuvraj Singh and all these guys were there, I don't think I've ever even wore my batting trousers. That was the comfort you had.
Yes.
And coming back to what DK said, as players, we all have different pressures. Different pressures, as he rightly pointed out, when you're expected to do well, it's like that student who's always first. 99? Oh, how can you get 99? You're supposed to get only 100. And then the guy likes of us who get only 47, and if you get 50, wow. But the pressure is to deliver. And I think when you're pushed into different corners, you see different features and different aspects of a player coming out. And today, and right through the tournament, we've seen different aspects of all the players coming out. And I think that's a great, great sign. I think that is what I want to look at, win or lose, whatever happens. You want a side which is going forward, a side which is pushing each other. And there are lots of players. And DK, you're very close to all these guys. You see them from close quarters. Obviously, you're a generation behind many of us. The fact that they're all snapping at each other's heels for competition, absolutely. I think it just is a great sign.
As he's talking, I'm just thinking of Tilak Varma as the hero. Look, we need to just keep speaking a lot about him, which we will as the show goes. But let's just spare a moment for two players that I want to speak about personally. One is Sanju Samson.
Yes.
He was opening. He was such a success as an opener, but being sent at number 5, sometimes at number 8, he's been tossed around a bit, but that's how middle order roles go. Today, under pressure, he stood.
Yes.
He just showed what it takes to just absorb pressure for a bit. He didn't win the game for us, but he took it to a point where it could be won from there. And then Shivam Dubey.
Yes.
He didn't play the last game. He's come in here, bowled with the new ball. Hardik Pandya not around. A lot of pressure on him as the all-rounder. Delivers 3 decent overs with the bat. Finds a way to take it home. So these are small things which really matter. Rinku Singh. He was probably sitting and he was in Dubai Mall chilling and buying all sorts of things and just having a gala time. Yes. He's been told to play the game, picks up a couple of catches, comes in the last ball, hits a boundary. You need to value these small performances. And I know for a fact that Mulina has been a lot around the Indian team and Anil Kumble and Harbhajan were there. But I also know the last game that he played, he got 6 wickets. And these moments might come to you once in a way because there might be other players. Rinku might be going through that because, India has a solid middle order. He might be, not getting as many opportunities. But when you get it, you need to somehow find a way to grab it, which is what makes you a good player. But more importantly, which will always propel and move the team forward. And this tournament, I'm telling you, for India has been the toughest tournament. Yes. They've cruised through. They have played brilliantly, but the last 2 games has been anything but. They have been pushed in all facets. They fielded very well today. They lost their current in-form players, Hardik and Abhishek Sharma and Shubman Gill, who have gotten us off consistently to good starts. In spite of that, being 20-3, when Pakistan, all they've been saying is our bowling is the best, they have said, hello, come, I'll show you what it takes. They've found a way to just take the power play to an extent where it is okay. The next 4 overs, they batted nicely, but 10 overs, 90, They got the job done. That is what good teams do. And it'll be the same in the World Cup as well. India will be the team that is hunted. But India have the potential to stand that pressure.
If I have to sum it up in whatever we have done, it's a beautifully run race, 4 into 100-meter relay. Slow start, but the baton was passed on nicely. And there were some quick sprinters in the middle.
Well, you're talking about the quick sprinters in the middle. There's someone who carried his bat through and he came in when India were 10 for 2. I couldn't handle the pressure watching, forget alone going and imagining what he must be going through, which is that Tilak Varma is our #1 player powered by Kajaria, India's #1 tile company, 69 not out of 53 balls. Kartik, he came in when it was 10 for 2 and I can tell you that we had bitten off all our nails. We didn't know where this game was going. The nails were gone in yesterday's...
Yeah, I know. I wanted the camera to zoom into your nails.
No, but it was just so much pressure because this is a final. It's a final against Pakistan. But he was cool as a cucumber. He has had 3 not outs in this Asia Cup. He's had an average of 71 this Asia Cup. So the numbers all doing the talking. But numbers aside, when you have to come in and play under pressure and deliver is what he's done today.
Yeah, 100%. And that is what you get prepared for. And I think DK used that word very nicely when he said that it's a coal which has been built under a lot of pressure to become diamonds. And that's what these players are. When you think about the team and the bench strength and just anything that surrounds the entire system, that's what it's created. It's created players, seasoned players, hardened players, tough players. And again, Saiyami, for all of us, and I'm pretty sure DK must have been nervy. Sometimes we don't show it. Obviously, you showed it.
Yeah,
you showed it.
And how?
But there is a part of it which is literally, you can't do too much.
Yes.
It's like a coach who's sitting outside and you know that you've done everything. You've done all the talking. You've done the preparation. But it's for the players. But the players actually feel it. But these are the ones who can mask it really nicely. They are the ones who can control it very nicely. And at this point of time, all the great mind analysts say, control your breathing. That is what these guys do. They're used to it. They're doing day in, day out. And I think just the way he stitched it, just the way he worked his whole innings. And you could see that pent-up emotion come out in the end.
Yes, yes.
The calm cucumber which you said, suddenly he exploded like a coconut there, which had fallen on the ground and it was all over. You can see that emotion coming out. It was all pent-up energy, which is fine. As long as it's within yourself, it has to come out somewhere. But again, coming back to what you said, these guys are all hardened guys, very seasoned guys. They're playing for India. They know what it takes. They know what it means. And kudos. Well done to them. Really well done to them.
Well, he was very strong and durable today. And this is something that Rohit Sharma had said, that he sees him as an all-format player. We saw that today, DK, because it wasn't the typical flat pitch. We kept talking about it. The ball wasn't coming on. It was slowing up. And to play this kind of a knock in T20 cricket, where you ease into it under the pressure and then hit the big shots when required. So he did it perfectly today.
You know, the producer calmly tells me a nice little line. I should say it, I feel. When Sharma ji ka ladka doesn't do it, Varma ji ka ladka will do it. I do think Tilak Varma is a very special talent. His greatness lies not in his ability to play shots. It's only one facet of his game. I think what Rohit said when he said about him looking to play all 3 formats was the ability to understand situations and react according to it. Because in that season, it was a season where Mumbai didn't do very well, but he had won a couple of games single-handedly. I remember a game against CSK. So low-scoring game, a lot of people got out. He'll just score a 70 not out and take the team home. So what he actually saw in Tilak Varma was his ability to play a knock just like what he did today. He is not only durable, but he's extremely stylish as well and very hard to bowl to, because he can pick you up and the same ball he's also able to hit over cover. So when somebody is able to hit the same ball to 2 different places on 2 different parts of the ground, you always challenge a bowler. So for me, he is someone who understands what it takes to be a champion. And today was a great example as to why you need to invest in him. He's a middle order guy. He's not going to get opportunities always, because a lot of the time top order will do a bulk of the heavy lifting. But there will be moments when a boy like this needs to find a way to do it for the team. And today was one such moment. Big game, Asia Cup, packed house, everybody's speaking about it. It's just not cricket. There's a lot more riding on it. A lot filled with emotions. Some, you can say, total patriotism.
Yes.
And he needs to not look at all that, shun out everything, watch the ball and react. But what it takes is a lot of situational awareness. What shot can I play now? He can easily come and keep looking to go over the top, over covers and look to hit over mid-wicket. These are shots he's good at. But he didn't play it at the start. He played dead defense. He took a few singles. Then when it came to almost a 10-over mark, he took a chance, hit down the ground, hit the slog sweep. And then again, he had to cruise through when Sanju got out for him.
Yes.
And then he had to make a partnership with Shivam Dube. That is what middle order batting is. What we saw from Pakistan was, I'll just go play shots.
So,
what Tilak Varma showed was a masterclass on how to do it in the middle.
Absolutely.
He had a score to chase, but he knew how to get it done.
Extremely seasoned and extremely mature was Tilak Varma, which is why he's our #1 player powered by Kajaria, India's #1 tile company. Tilak Varma made sure that my heart rate had calmed down a little bit when he came in because it was hitting the roof. You spoke about the supporting act from Sanju Samson and from Shivam Dube. We look at the batting card. That start that India has always been used to. Abhishek Sharma went out, played the game that he knows how to play. He was being attacking. Shubman Gill also looked to attack. So did Suryakumar Yadav. They all fell early. And then it was Sanju Samson and it was Tilak Varma. They steadied the ship. Sanju Mohanlal Samson is what we said his name is because he said he's like Mohanlal sir, the actor. He can play any role, but today he came in at 5 and played the role he had to and played it very well.
Yeah, again, different pressure, isn't it? It's not just a game on the line. It's not just the final on the line. It's also about the pliability of a Sanju Samson.
Yes.
Everybody's talking about whether he can fit into that role because what he likes is up top. And that is not something which has been given to him. It's gone to Shubman Gill. So you need to find a way to get runs. And more importantly, you need to soak in the pressure. Be the second fiddle if provided maybe you can start dominating. But he was second fiddle at that point of time. Understand the situation. More importantly, understand the situation. Ease the pressure. So he did that really well. And I think that is why this role which he played, yes, it is not seen as the main cast, but a lovely support cast at a very crucial juncture in that run chase.
And Shivam Dube as well, because he came out and played that crucial knock. He wasn't there in the last game. He hit that big 6 when it was needed. We spoke about it when you were watching the 6 to Haris Rauf. Tricky one because he was trying to bowl that full toss. He was trying to bowl the Yorker. It was a low full toss, but he got it away under pressure. So again, Shivam Dube delivered under pressure.
For sure, he did. I thought he really handled pressure well. Within his game plan, which is to hit down the ground. That's something he's very good at. He's tall, he can pick up length quite nicely. Most importantly, he's got long levers and a lovely bat swing. So he backs that. He doesn't have those funky shots, doing sweeps and reverse sweeps with people who don't have power up. He has a lovely bat swing. As I said, he's got nice power down the ground. And he backed himself to do it. For example, when Abrar Ahmed bowled one into his pad, bang, he went over mid-wicket. Then when Haris Rauf came over covers, and at the back end, 4 overs 36, he hit that shot of Haris Rauf. Yes. So these are the shots which actually you need to bring out under pressure. You know, we're speaking about Sanju Samson, which is such a good point. Like, you need to find a way to, fit into such situations. You need to be flexible. In today's era of T20 cricket, if you're pigeonholed into one side and you're only comfortable doing that, suddenly when you're thrown into a different role altogether, it could be very, very alarming and at times surprising, the situations that come to you. You'd be astonished at how good you can be if you put your mind to it.
Yes.
And I think Sanju Samson has made an honest effort in doing that. I remember even in the Kerala Premier League, he started in the middle order. Yes, and tried. And then obviously his team must have asked him, you're much better off opening. Shivam Dube is someone who is mastering the role of trying to be in the middle. I think he's done a wonderful job with Chennai Super Kings till the time he is part of the team. And the fact that in Indian team, he hardly gets a chance in bilaterals because Hardik is around. He doesn't get as many opportunities. But when you see an innings like this, you understand why people have invested in him, have the faith in him. He was taken to Caribbean because he could take on the spinners so nicely. That was the only role given by Rohit and Rahul Dravid at that stage, saying, if you see a spinner, if it's in your zone, go for it. And today, again, fast bowler coming in under pressure. We all think we are under pressure. We are watching. We are supporting probably India. We want them to win. Haris Rauf is under pressure.
Yes.
Every time he tried a Yorker, he bowled a full toss. So you can see, as I said before, under pressure to deliver is a completely different skill. You need to be able to own the moment.
Yeah, and also for both these players, just think of the kind of players who are sitting out. So Rinku Singh has done nothing wrong till now. He's only done well for India.
He's come out today, 1 ball 4.
And he's been sitting out, which means that if Shivam Dube is playing, he's got a job on hand. Obviously, Rinku is the better fielder. He's the fleetest of them all. But Shivam has to bowl. and he's seen as this power hitter who can really enforce an innings in the middle if needed against spinners, or just has the power to just blaze through. Think of Sanju Samson. Opening the innings has done well, suddenly asked to go down the order. Who's most suited? Jitesh is most suited for that. And all the talk in the lead up to the tournament was Jitesh. We thought that Sanju Samson is not even playing when we did the first show. And then suddenly Sanju is put into this pressure situation, and he's got runs in the 3 innings. I think he has got more than 100 runs, very close to Shubman Gill. Although Shubman Gill has got 6 innings. He's got only 3 innings. Played a role, got a 56, whatever. Now comes into this game, suddenly in this situation, he's thinking, am I good enough? I'm pretty sure he must have thought about it. He has his own nerves and the pressure to take India home, play a role. I think all these guys have done exceptionally well, and that is why you need to laud them for it. I think real well done. I think superb chase. Yes, maybe you bit your teeth and nails and something else, but...
No, but we were talking about
in
pressure.
this format, Saimi, in the last 27 games, they won 24. That is
The consistency has been, it's just remarkable, that kind of consistency.
I think sometimes we need to look at ourselves and say, boss, if they lose the odd game, lose the odd series, it's okay, calm down.
No,
24 out of 27.
Odd series, DK.
Exactly.
Expectation goes up.
No, DK, odd game is all right, but the loss when it becomes 19th November, it's very painful, which is why today would have, it's something, it's just the dominance India's had in T20, because we have a look at these numbers here. You're talking about Asia games in the T20s in 23, you're talking about T20 World Cup and then Asia Cup. You see the losses, there are 0 losses. What is the meaning of this consistency? It's just number 1 all through, number 1 batter, number 1 bowler, number 1 all-rounder is all India.
And to be fair, they haven't added what India has done in ODI cricket. Even better, in the 2023 World Cup, they just lost the 1 and they've been very strong throughout. So that is an incredible record to have. In this format, the shortest, ficklest format, toughest format.
And things change so quickly.
Exactly, and they're playing against good opponents, and it is so heartening to see how well prepared India is. They have their own strategy. They've gone in with 3 spinners. I feel sometimes they are so good. Imitation is a form of flattery. I feel other teams look at them and go, I think we can also play 3 spinners. That's why you see Pakistan, who started with 2, started playing 3 spinners. So overall, I think India is literally walking the walk and talking the talk. And they have been just great to watch. They are led by a captain who's enjoying his time as a batter. Enjoying his time as a leader. Can't say so much about his batting, but definitely it looks like a team which knows what it takes to win the big moments. And that is going to stand India good come the February when they take on that World Cup and they'll be defending champions. Again, they'll, as Murali and I just said, they'll have a target on their back, a bit like what Novak Djokovic felt walking to the Grand Slams a few years ago. Every tournament was his to lose. Brilliant.
Roger Federer lived that for very long. But we leave
Even
that.
Roger Federer
lived that for very, very long. But Novak Djokovic is an absolutely incredible talent. But talking about Suryakumar Yadav, he's going to be relieved, Kartik, because he didn't really have the best outing with the bat. But it doesn't matter. As long as the team wins, you're happy.
100%. And I think that's what the strength of the team stands for. Yes, Surya didn't have. So all the more the pressure for everyone else, because he has been the fulcrum around whom Indian batting has revolved. He's been the most dreaded batter in world cricket for a long time coming. But the bowlers were wondering where to bowl to him. So for him to have such a quiet tournament, and then India still doing well, and not to forget, you mentioned in the list the best all-rounder, Hardik Pandya, not there. So lots of people have shaped up, lots of people have showed up, taken the responsibility and seen the team home. So I think it's just a wonderful effort, and the consistency is what is more important. And I'll come back to the same thing. I think you think about the future, you think about what you're building, and given the bench strength, given the kind of confidence that these players have been given, I think Rohit did that really well. When you say walk the walk, talk the talk, he empowered players, he also backed them. And I'm assuming and I'm presuming over here, given whatever we have seen, that Gigi and Surya are doing the same thing with this team. So if you tell somebody this is what you're doing, we will back you to the hilt. Do it. Go be yourself. And I think these are the kind of signs you want. Winning and losing takes care of itself in the end.
Amidst the glitz, gala and glamour that happens in Dubai, I think India is definitely the brightest shining star for today, without a doubt. I think they should be very proud of themselves. It is just so heartwarming to see how well they're able to come together as a unit, find a way to absorb pressure, but most importantly, deliver under pressure. That is I always appreciate that the most.
The headlines you're giving us are beautiful. The brightest shining stars in Dubai is what India is going to be, is what DK has said. They have been shining very bright, especially after this win. But all through, Karthik and DK, we spoke about who's going in favourites, who's the more stronger team on paper. And it was India all the way through. We kept saying that on paper India is a stronger team, but the way Pakistan played today, you have to credit the bowlers because they came out and they really had Indian fans' hearts in their mouth, because 20 for 3 is what they were in 3 overs. Shaheen Shah Afridi and Fahim Ashram both bowled in that power play. Fahim getting 3 wickets, Shaheen Afridi getting that 1 wicket, and then India took it away. But we have to give credit to the Pakistani pacers up top. Unfortunately, they couldn't hold their nerves under pressure.
No,
that Harris Rauf over, you think?
Sorry?
Turning point, the 17-run Harris Rauf over was a big one, probably the turning point.
Look, I would say that the fact that they caved in big time after their first 10 played a big role in. If they had another 15 runs, the game could have been different, given the fact that India was also nervy at the start. But we spoke about Shaheen, we were thinking of the spinners. We forgot Fahim Ashraf because he turned out to be their trump card, because even at a stage, even in the fag end of that chase, he was the one who picked up that wicket. So to get Abhishek and Shubman and Shubman at Shivam Dubey in the end, I think he's played a brilliant hand, and then Shaheen getting Shubman. So I think the question is, if you think of just Pakistan over here, the Pakistan will rue the fact that their batting hardly played a big role in this tournament. Yeah, they're banking on your bowlers all the time. So I wouldn't take anything away from the bowlers. Bowlers had only that much to play with. They gave it their all, and it wasn't enough.
So clearly 146 has changed the game. You think it was the batters who lost them the game then today?
In hindsight, they would say that, considering the start they got, considering where they were after 10 overs, no, they should have definitely got a few more. But I always say, even if they'd got a few more, India would have approached it differently. Because it was 146, we approached a certain way. If it was 165, we would have approached it differently. So that is one side of it. Did they bat well first half? Yes. Second half? No. Did they bowl well first half? Yes. Second half? No. So I think they are a team which obviously have perennial problems with the bat, and it remains the same. With the ball, they have definitely shown. They've surprised a lot of teams, especially with their spinners. I think Abrar Ahmed has been brilliant throughout the tournament. Mohammad Nawaz came in, their coach, and Mike Essen said he's the best left-arm spinner in the world, but didn't get to bowl sometimes because left-handers were batting. But Saim Ayub bowled very nicely in his opportunities. In fact, I think he's bowled much better than he's batted, when actually he's a batter who can bowl. So they've had positives. Harris Rauf, who was not part of the starting 11, made it to the starting 11, had a couple of good games, finals again. He himself, I think, let the team down quite badly because he didn't bowl up to the potential that he has. He's someone who's known to bowl the death overs, and he has good yorkers and good slow ones. But under pressure, you need to be able to land them. That's when you go from good to great. Greatness is achieved only when you deliver under pressure. As simple as that. And that is what Indian team has done, and that is why they are great. And Pakistan, at best, you can say they've been decent. Nothing above that, because they have lost every game to India.
Yes.
They started off okay. They just lost the first game in the Super 4 stages, barely managed to win a couple of other games. They've been scratchy throughout. Today was a day when if actually they had gone on to turn the result, everything would have been forgotten. But sadly, they have lost, and everything will come to light. And the one thing that will definitely shine bright for them is how poor they have batted through the middle.
But also the pressure now on Salman Agha is going to be immense, because after this loss, after 3 losses against India, and then just not being able to deliver with the bat, where do you think that's going to go with the World Cup? Because we know with Pakistan, they keep shuffling, musical chairs are always on. Where do you see that captaincy going?
You never know when the floor might open underneath you and you might be taken in. So look, that's been the case with Pakistan. And again, lots of things which you can consider as if you're bigging somebody up as the best left-arm spinner in the world. I'm pretty sure he deserves one more over if he's the best left-arm spinner in the world currently going. And also, I always feel that this is something which happens all the time, especially in this format. And I know that bowlers do win you tournaments and you are expected to win. But there is also a certain number you play with. And again, I'll come back to that point. You can start well, but there is a stage in the game where you as a bowling unit are so under so much pressure because you know that you've got only those many runs to play with. The batter has seen everything that you can give from a bowling point of view. It's not a test match, it's not an ODI game, you're bowling staggered overs. I'll come back to that same point. But then when there is a crucial over and when the batter can time his assault on you, I think the bowler is left with nothing because you've got only those many runs to play with. You give it your all, you need to bring your fields up, you need to do all those things, and then suddenly the batter gets the better of you. And I think from that point of view, that is the reason why I felt that Pakistan let themselves down in the second half. Another few runs, and again, if you think of that low-scoring game, the first Sunday, 126, India got off to a blazing start and they just finished it off. Similarly in the second game. And for me, Pakistan, given the sort of tepid season or the tepid sort of outing which Salman Agha has had, I don't know what's going to happen. Again, very fickle, you said it, you don't know what's going to happen. But I feel bad for that bowling unit because the bowling unit is not bad at all. They're pretty good. They've showed up on quite a few occasions.
I think Pakistan are scarred to a point where they're scared now. Because every time starting a game, they believe like, okay, we can win. But there always comes a moment in the game when the pressure slowly shifts back on you or is midway where you can seize the pressure if you have the courage. I think Pakistan in those moments take a backward step. It's very easy to do a lot of the talking outside the ground. But in the ground, when the pressure is just on the brink of showing itself up to you, you need to have the courage to take that step forward and do what it takes to win that moment. And I think every time India have just come to that stage, they have not taken one, they've taken two steps. That's why you see this game as well. We started poorly with the ball. They just got one wicket. They came back, finished Pakistan and not even let them score. They made them score below par. With the bat, they put us under tremendous pressure. One partnership. To the 10th over, they just came around 55 for 3 from being 10 for 2. The moment they said, let's launch, they didn't have anything. They again came to a stage where it is 4 overs 36. If you pick up a wicket there, if you sequence your bowling well, if you exactly bowl to plan, we saw a Mike Hesson who came running onto the ground and told the bowler, bowl outside the off stump and bowl slowly to Shivam Dubey. So animated. So that was the plan. But under pressure, he's bowled on the stump and he's gotten hit for a 6. So those moments you should be able to seize. You should be very aware of what you need to do as a bowler, how you need to deliver. If you don't, the pressure will come back on you. And then, because the moment that pressure is there, India, because they know how to handle it or they have the courage to handle it, they have taken the step forward and not back.
You know, talking about that step forward, there's one man who's going to be extremely happy. A man who doesn't usually show too much emotion, but we did see emotion out of Gautam Gambhir today, Karthik. He's going to be one happy man. Champions Trophy and now the Asia Cup.
Yeah, very much so, because he's also been under a bit of pressure. It's good that the boys had a lovely outing in England because, again, you spoke about the team in transition and how badly India had fared in test matches, losing 3-0, which had not happened, I think, in many moons, and then losing a series in Australia. I think lots of pressure on GG because you tend to get bracketed that way, isn't it? You could do really well in T20 cricket and suddenly you get picked in the test matches. So you could do really badly in test match cricket. You could be winning other tournaments, but you're still under a bit of pressure. So mightily relieved man. Also, quite a few questions being asked about some of the players being excluded from this 15-man squad. So then you have to walk the walk. You need to win the tournament. So really happy for GG and Suryakumar Yadav and the selectors and for India. The fact that India did really well.
Well, moving forward to the World Cup then, because everything's now going to be discussed around the World Cup. India, the problem is of plenty. The problem is of who's going to be that 11. But you think we have a fair idea now after this Asia Cup what the 11 is going to be?
I think so. In India, we know what exactly we need. We're going to go with a very similar combination, Bumrah, Hardik and 3 spinners. I think they'll stick to that unless something diabolically different happens. They have 15 T20s and against good opponents. They have Australia, South Africa and they have a home series against New Zealand. So South Africa is a home series as well. So they have solid 15 T20s and India know what their squad is. They'll rest a few key players, they'll give other players opportunities, but come at the World Cup, they'll exactly know what their 15 is and how they want to start on the day of the World Cup. So I have no doubt India is very clear about what their plan is. Surya and Gambhir operate in a way where they trust the spinners a lot more and we're playing in India, home conditions, so why not? So I think I'm very confident and I'm very sure about the fact that India knows what their starting 15, at least 14 is, maybe one here and there. But their starting 11, you can be rest assured, will be very similar to what we saw in the Asia Cup.
But Karthik, I think the only little bit of work that India will probably go in and do is the fielding, you feel? Otherwise, everything's been on point?
Look, the odd game we've been slightly below par, but I put that down. I'm not giving it as an excuse. The circle of fire is not an easy place. Even you could be a seasoned player out there, but there are times where you don't pick the ball. And that is from experience, I'm saying, at that ground. But again, having said that, I think India would be pretty chuffed at what they have achieved. I think they've been put through different situations. Yes, the odd time where... The only thing I would feel from this tournament is that the 2 times when they gave chances to Arshdeep and Harshit Rana, they went for a few runs. So I think that is something, would you put that down to lack of game time? Would you put that down to the fact that India were trying a few things and maybe... Because Arshdeep has been one of your leading lights. Yes. He's been a standout bowler in this format. And I was a bit surprised that those guys didn't do well. Do they come under a bit of scanner? Hopefully not. But apart from that, look, there's so many good players to choose from. And again, as DK said, we've got enough games to figure out what that starting 15 or 16 is going to be. And I'm pretty sure that the fulcrum or the nucleus of the bowling is there. The spinners are inked in, I suppose. Bumrah is inked in. And do you think you need another seamer with Hardik as a support role? Or you feel that Shivam Dube is good enough to do that for you? Time will tell, but yeah, pretty steady from here on.
Time will tell, because with India, there's always so many surprises with this selection and so many discussions, and understandably so. But for tonight, India can smile, India can celebrate, and India can be very happy. This is the 9th Asia Cup title that India have won. If we have a look at those years, 1984, 88, 90, 91, 95, 2010, 16, 18, 23, and now 2025 Asia Cup champions, India can have a lot of reasons to celebrate. What a tournament has been, what a campaign has been, DK, because like you said, you know, going in without dropping a single game. We'll have a look at our leading run getters for the Asia Cup. We'll have a look at the leading wicket takers as well, the leading run getters in the Asia Cup. 314, Abhishek Sharma at 1, and 2 is 261. Just look at the gulf, Karthik. You spoke about the gulf between teams, but this gulf in the gulf.
Look, he's been a leading light there. He's been absolutely brilliant. That blitzkrieg at the top of the order, I think, except for this game, has been really something which India has relished and relied on, if I can say that. So, yeah, and the fact that today him not getting runs, that strike rate has come down a bit.
Yes, sir. Just a tiny bit.
Just a tiny bit. But again, wonderful to watch him. I think he's been given that role and he has taken it on very, very nicely. Bats beautifully, bats with a lot of freedom. And again, as I said, he doesn't die wondering. So, really well done to him. And yeah, just think of it. He's also got a lot of competition. Just think of the fact that we talked about Yashasvi Jaiswal, Ruturaj Gaikwad, Sanju Samson himself at the top of the order. And for him to come out and whatever he has done in the last 2-3 years, IPL and India included, I think it's been the same. And whoever he is his sounding board, whoever is his coach, whoever he is relying on, long may it continue.
But DK, we know that he has cemented himself there. But I know there is an Australia series, but looking at the World Cup, is it going to be Shubman Gill or do we see another opener?
They'll back Shubman Gill. They know he's a man who can get it done under pressure. We've seen in England being the leader, what he brought to the table. They'll back him. That's the reason why he's been picked. And he's a vice captain of this team.
Yes.
So I don't think they're going to let go of him unless...
I'm saying position-wise. Can he move around anywhere, get Sanju Samson up at all?
I'd be surprised if that happened. I think Sanju Samson has to be consistent at this place wherever he's batting through the middle. So far he's been good and he would like to continue. As Karthik says, long may it continue. But that'll be the biggest challenge for him. But Shubman, till the time he plays, he'll open. Otherwise, he might not play. That is a different thing. But if he plays, I think he will open.
Yeah, but the thing is, they've elevated him to the vice-captaincy role, which means that unless and until something really drastic happens, you don't see them shuffling from that sort of logic. But look, he's a class act.
Yes, absolutely.
He is an absolute class act. We all know what Shubman Gill is. And just because he's had you can say a bit of a quiet tournament compared to his skills.
I think he's given impact knocks, but not given the big runs that we
His
expected.
highest runs have been 47. So he's striking well. He was striking at 155, but I think that average was a little bit of a concern because you're opening, even like a game like today when there's so much pressure, that shot selection people might discuss because, there was just pressure under him.
And also because he's been overshadowed by his friend.
his partner and his very good friend.
Looking at him, I wouldn't be upset with his shot selection.
Yes.
In T20 cricket, you need to take risks, and that's a shot that he plays well.
He plays that well.
You need to back that. And he's a gun player. There's no chance that he's going to fail for too long. He's just too good to fail. So I have no doubt that he'll come back and he'll come back strong. He's the kind of guy who'll get you hundreds, actually, to be fair, at a good clip. The intent he's showing, the strike rate is high. What more?
All right, then let's have a look at the highest wicket takers this Asia Cup. No surprises for that because we've spoken so much about Kuldeep Yadav. I know that Karthik has been a big supporter of Kuldeep Yadav as well. But if we have to pick your players, your player of the tournament, who's it going to be?
It's a tough one, isn't it? I know I am somebody who always pumps for a bowler. But I would say that given the conditions, they've not been easy for batting. So the way Abhishek batted, I would give it to him. Otherwise, I'm a big one. If it was a flat deck, 7 matches, 17 wickets at that economy, and the way he's bowled impactful spells. Because again, staggered overs, never easy to get wickets, but he's done that. I would always give it to him. But given
The conditions.
the conditions and the fact that they were not exactly batting friendly, it's not as if that the batters have shown through. There's only Pathum Nissanka and our man there. So, Abhishek. Been very
that must have been a big one for you.
No, it got me thinking because once you started showing those numbers, I was just trying to figure out within my own head, how do I work this out? So that's why.
For you, DK.
For me, without a doubt, Abhishek Sharma.
Yes.
On a pitch which is so hard to bat, he's head and shoulders above the rest. See, Pathum Nissanka is 261, but the last one he got in a match where they were out of the tournament. That's a completely different mindset to have. To score 100 there. Great knock.
Yeah.
Take nothing away from him. But to consistently score 300 runs at a strike rate of 200, that's a humongous task. And on a pitch where others are struggling to get it at 130, that's phenomenal.
204 it was, I think, if I'm not a numbers man, but I think just before this game it was 204.
Yes. Well, we saw the leading run getters, the leading wicket takers. I think it's a good idea to see the leading names on our prediction game.
Oh, gloat.
I've never been in this position, so I suddenly will have a glow on my face, but it feels so good.
Oh, the
be
Kartiks
there.
are holding the fort.
Murali Kartik and Dinesh Karthik down
And
below.
I need to doff my hat to the great Mr. Bogle because
Clearly,
karma has bit me hard.
Competition has been happening down there. Nobody's talking about the two winners, which is Rohan Gavaskar and me, but I will still let it be with the competition between you and Harsha Bogle. How does it
It was
feel?
never a competition. I brought it upon myself by saying that I don't think I can lose to Harsha Bogle, and it's happened.
No, but the thing is that you've been a winner, right? The Champions Trophy, IPL, you were number one.
Yeah.
You were there with the crown. I remember the photograph. that
on
you
this
clicked.
bald
But were you a joint winner with him?
No. I was the sole winner. I had a crown on this bald head, but it's come crashing down.
And crashing down, and how?
How?
It's really crashed down. So
All the punditry, we are at the base. We are doing the finals, sitting and talking about the finals, and we are at the base of it. Base.
This is a bit
literally.
like that Formula
Base
1
camp.
car table, There's always a top of the table clash and a bottom of the table clash. The Kartiks were fighting definitely for the bottom. He was hoping he could get ahead of Harsha, but
yeah,
clearly...
that was the only competition that he was in for.
Yeah. You have to see where you can.
See, but there's a difference, I mean. When he won solo. When you won, you shared the
But I
podium.
love sharing.
You might love sharing, but when he won it whole and soul. There's a difference. So he's
And a big tournament and a longer tournament.
Just look at Rohan and me. Rohan, for some reason, is not happy. Look at me smiling there. But Rohan's not happy sharing. I'm
That
very
man
happy.
there, now at number 2 is always there and thereabouts.
Truly is always
Consistent.
there. Huh?
Yeah.
He always comes in.
He's a good
plays
reader of the
his
game, good
bullseye.
pulse.
He gets that bullseye in and then smiles quietly behind. Today, Karthik, of course, was not even bothering.
I had a bad tournament. Look, I had a good Champions Trophy.
He's had a tournament with Suryakumar Yadav, I feel.
Just not got
both of us shook hands before leaving.
We're all happy because India has won. So it's all right. You can have a tournament.
I had a tournament like Salman Agha. Forgettable.
Well, DK, you can come back strong because we always...
Clearly, I mean, from there, anything I do is only going upwards because
it can't get worse.
can't get lesser
It
than
can't
this.
get worse at all. But the game was so stressful today that I forgot to remind you to think about the joy factor. So let's quickly have a look at the joy factor question of the day. And you all can think about it right now. Complete this exclusive India list with respect to the Asia Cup.
I think
Navjot Singh Sidhu, Mohammad Azharuddin, Shikhar Dhawan, Mohammad Siraj and...
Dinesh Karthik, I'm going to say, because I feel these are finals of Asia Cup winners. Asia Cup finals man of the match. Because
Woo! Let's get a close-up.
I genuinely didn't know it was a big guess. But because it is Asia Cup and finals, I thought like how Joyda would think, and I just said
that's all you have to do. So well done. You can maybe be last on that prediction game, but you've won a joy.
This is that Nidahas thing, is it?
No. This is an Asia Cup final in 2010.
Oh, that was Nidahas Cup. What's wrong with me?
Well done,
Too
DK.
late in the day.
Besides DK, let's have a look at all of DK's fans who got it correct, which will be a long list, but we'll pick up one. There is Pani Acharya, who's won this. We haven't really seen your name come up, so well done on getting your first one. Congratulations.
And well done, TK.
DK.
On getting it right as well, because sometimes you don't know about your own self.
I really didn't know, but I just, once it got over, I thought must be Asia Cup finals, man of the match, so I just put all of that together.
Well done, DK. It's feeling good, no, to get a joy factor in on your last day.
No, I would have preferred winning this guessing game, but it's okay.
No, but you were no way close to it, no?
Yeah, I couldn't have won. I'm just saying at least a table when you're midway, it's better feel now.
Wooden spoon.
Wow.
You're a wooden spoon.
It's a bad feeling.
No wooden spoon.
But I have to tell you all that we have put in a petition. Please write in and tell us if you all think to make our guessing game even spicier for our next edition of whenever all of us meet. We should have a little prize at the end of our guessing game. Correct. Which makes it even spicier.
I've been rooting for it for a long time.
So we will write in this petition to our producers and to our directors and hope that this happens.
Even if it's a simple chocolate.
Oh, that low.
I'm saying at least something.
Okay. We'll find
all this
simple
effort.
chocolate for Karthik.
Yeah.
But Karthik, DK, thank you very, very much for making this final so much fun. I have to learn from you all because it's been now, 2-3 years I've been doing Cricbuzz. My nerves don't seem to calm down in these high-pressure games. Clearly, you all are the players. You all have played for India. You all know how to handle the pressure, and this is the pressure that I want to learn. How to handle pressure is something that I'm going to learn the next time I'm here on Cricbuzz. But it's been so much fun to be on this Asia Cup for everyone. India, our champions, we've held our pressure. India has held their nerves. 9th time now, Asia Cup finals. They've beaten Pakistan for 8 times in a row. It's been a day where the firecrackers around our studio in Mumbai have not stopped. In spite of the rains, the firecrackers are all over the place. So
to be honest, I've never been in the Cricbuzz studio for a final when India was playing, first time. And the energy that the studio has, the kind of effort, there are so many of us so many people who have helped us, all of these people sitting here, Raja Bhai, Wasim, all of them who help us behind, and the kind of passion and energy. Someday we should, we should capture that and show it to some of the cricketers who also see what it means to be part of the Cricbuzz studios and the work that goes on behind the scenes and the amount of love and affection they have towards not only working and being part of this whole journey, but also seeing India do so well. It's phenomenal.
But you've seen this kind of emotion through the IPL, through the World Cup, through the Champions Trophy. You've been part of how loud it gets here at Cricbuzz.
Yeah, 100%. And it's been my 4th or since 2021, I've been working with Cricbuzz on a very consistent basis. And just the love you get from everyone around here. He mentioned the names, Raja Bhaiya, Wasim Bhai and all. Absolutely selfless, absolutely human. So much so that they're there receiving you and they're there when you leave at the end of the day. Or whatever night or whatever you can call it. And just the passion around everyone.
Because we come in the evening, in the morning now we leave. Day.
In the morning, yeah, you're right. In the day and wee hours of the morning, let's put it that way. So it's just amazing what we get over here. And it's the same consistency. The consistency which we get from the Indian team is what we get over here. It's never changed and long may it continue for everyone.
Long may it continue for everyone. Kartik has summed it up very well. Both the Kartiks I had for this big final, a very exciting final. As always, it's such a pleasure to be on Cricbuzz. It's such a pleasure to have you all come watch us every day. The cricket never stops. Cricbuzz Live will be back very soon, so we will see you all there. Thank you so much for watching Cricbuzz Live. Good night and goodbye.